Okay, so we're going to look at solving trigonometric equations again, and specifically right now we're going to look at what's called general solution. So when we're referring to the general solution, that means that the domain is the set of all real numbers. That also may be written as theta is the element of all real numbers as well, or x if it's the variable x that is used. So what that means, it is the solution plus all of its coterminal angles. So it includes the solution and all the coterminal angles because it continues on forever. So to represent general solution, we would write our angle and then we would say plus 2 pi n, which is 1 revolution, where n is the element of integers. So because we're using integers, that includes negative numbers. So this would be like subtracting 2 pi as well. So for example, if n was -1, -1 times 2 pi is -2 pi, so it would be the angle minus 2 pi. So by using integers, you're actually adding or subtracting 2 pi. So do not use a plus or minus sign here, or basically you'd be writing all of them twice. If degree is used or asked for in the interval, then you would use 360 degrees instead. If it doesn't specify radians or degrees, then you can use either one. So other variables may be used. 2k pi is commonly used, where k is the element of integers. So 2 pi n and 2k pi are the most common ways to write it. It doesn't matter which one you use. Let's look at example 1 to see how this works. Determine the general solution over the real numbers if x or theta is measured in radians for each of the following. So in A, we're going to solve for theta. So to do this, you find what the solution would be at first between 0 and 2 pi. So we're going to do that first by factoring. So I want to make sure I set that equal to 0. So factors of 2 sine squared theta must be 2 and 1. So 2 sine theta, sine theta. And then I need to decide if it's going to be factors of 3 or 1 and 3. I don't know if it's 1, 3 or 3, 1. So you would try 1, 3, for example. And then when I test this, this would be 1 plus 6. So I can get that to be negative. So this would be minus and this would be plus. So I did it in pencil because it could have been the other way and I would have had to check for that. So that would mean sine theta equals -1/2, sine theta equals 3. So sine theta equals 3, that's greater than 1, so we would have no solution here. So let's write that down. So that's part of the answer to that branch. For sine theta equals -1/2, we're going to find that on our triangle. So 1/2 is opposite, the 1 is opposite to pi by 6. So our reference angle is pi by 6. This is negative using the CAS rule. If you're going to use the CAS rule, then sine's positive in 1 and 2, so it's negative in 3 and 4. So quadrants 3 and 4. So in quadrant 3, you would add pi. So 6 pi by 6 plus 1 more would be 7 pi by 6. In quadrant 4, 2 pi or 12 pi by 6, 1 less would be 11 pi by 6. So that would be the answers between 0 and 2 pi. So what this means, just so you can kind of visualize this, is that there would be answers at 7 pi by 6 and 11 pi by 6. So every time I go around, I would add 2 pi at 7 pi by 6 plus the coterminal angle forever and ever. So what you do is you say plus 2 pi n on both of them. They're not, you need it for here 2 pi and here 2 pi, where n is the element of integers. And you can just say this part once if it's referring to all of that. So there's your answer in with the general solution.